Before we begin, I want to share a brief content note. This podcast discusses coercive control, emotional abuse, and parental alienation. There are no graphic details, but these topics can be heavy. Please take care of yourself while listening, and feel free to pause or step away at any time. This is my first podcast of After the Quiet. For a long time, I wasn't allowed to speak. Not out loud, not honestly, and not without consequences. This podcast is not about revenge. It's not about blame, and it's not about proving anything to anyone. It's about naming something that often goes unnamed. It's about telling the story of what coercive control feels like from the inside, and what happens when silence lasts too long. Before I go any further, I want to say this clearly. For my own safety and the protection of my children, I am not using my full name here. That choice is intentional. What I'm sharing is real. The experiences are mine, and the care I'm taking with this story is part of how I reclaim my voice. If you're listening because you've lived something similar, I want you to know that you're not alone. If you're listening because you're trying to understand someone you love, I'm glad you're here. And if you found this podcast unexpectedly, I invite you to listen with openness and care. This podcast is not a timeline of events. It's not a legal argument, and it's not a character study of anyone else. It is a reflection on patterns, impacts, and lived experiences. I won't be using names, I won't be sharing identifying details, and I won't be speaking about my children in ways that could ever harm them. They are not the story. My love for them is. For over 20 years, I lived in a relationship where control did not look like bruises or shouting. It looked like confusion. It looked like self-doubt. It looked like slowly losing the ability to trust my own instincts. Coercive control isn't one big moment. It's thousands of small ones. It's the quiet erosion of autonomy. It's the constant second-guessing. The sense that no matter what you do, you're wrong. For a long time, I thought staying quiet was protection. I told myself it was strength, that enduring was noble, that holding everything together mattered more than how broken I felt inside. But silence has a cost. And for me, that cost eventually included losing daily access to my children. That loss is not something I will unpack in detail here, but is something that shapes every breath I take. I'm speaking now because coercive control thrives in silence, because so many people don't recognize it until years have passed, because when emotional abuse isn't visible, it's often minimized or misunderstood, and because naming our experiences carefully, responsibly, and truthfully can help someone else recognize what they're living through. If you're listening and something in your body feels tight, if you're wondering whether what you're experiencing counts, if you keep explaining away behavior that doesn't feel right, I want you to know this. Your confusion makes sense. Your exhaustion makes sense. And your story deserves compassion. This podcast will move slowly. It will pause when needed, and it will always choose care over exposure. In the next episode, I'll talk about how coercive control often begins, disguised as love, concern, or protection. Thank you for listening. Thank you for holding this with me. And if no one has told you this today, your voice matters. If you need support, please reach out to someone you trust or a local support service. You are not weak for needing help. You are human.